Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Broken Brand. And today they've announced the 2024 Game Awards nominees. I've got some thoughts, and I've got some categories that I could care less about and have no input on. But let's stroll through these and see what we're looking at, shall we? And let's start with Game of the Year. So we've got Astrobot, which I figured would be on the list because it was such a huge hit on PlayStation. It kind of makes me want a PlayStation because it's probably the real first 100% family friendly exclusive to PlayStation that Sony's ever done in a number of years. And, they're kind of like, oh yeah, well, Nintendo makes a lot of family-friendly games. We should probably stick our toe in there a little bit, and they did a great job. Don't get me wrong. I love the look of it. I want to play it so bad. Just don't want to fork out $600 for a PlayStation Pro, or $900, whatever all it is. Second is Balatro. Now, this was a surprising one to me because Balatro is a card game. It's a poker game. It's got some different elements to it that make it more than just a standard poker game. I've seen it advertised even on like my mobile games, just on like my wordscapes and stuff like that. I've seen ads for it, and they've been pushing it a lot on Steam's page. And really, I wouldn't have thought in a million years that a game like that would have made Game of the Year. Maybe mobile Game of the Year, but Game of the Year? It's just one that, even when I watch the trailer, I'm just kind of like, no, it's not for me. Black Myth Wukong, I'm glad it's on there. I was surprised a little bit. I really did think that it would not get nominated, to be honest. Elden Ring, yeah, absolutely. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, honestly, I haven't played it, and I actually have not played any of the Game of the Years except for Metaphor ReFantazio. Final Fantasy VII, it looks good. I haven't played it. I've heard good and bad. Metaphor ReFantazio, I did play through the demo. I've got it on my channel. I did a live stream. It was 6 hours long. It was a long demo, and it was very limited on gameplay, and even in the demo, which is the prologue, there's a lot of problems with it, and I can't believe, usually, it had an interesting story, but it was too, you gotta learn to do this, and be this, and be this, and be this, and all these little things, all these little characteristics, and then the humans were the invading evil force into the land, and the character creation was a little weird. The character design was a little weird, just felt off, especially when you had some of the bosses and stuff that didn't quite match to me. The same style, it seemed off-putting, but I didn't hate it. Well, I didn't like it. And it was my first Atlas game I ever played, because people say Persona's been real good. All the Persona games are wonderful, blah, 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 blah. So I gave the demo a chance, and I was like, nope, this is not for me. Of these, I think Black Myth Wukong should take it. That's my opinion. Best game direction, Astrobot again, Balatro, Black Myth, Elden Ring, Final Fantasy. It's all of them. All the same ones again. Exact same for Game of the Year is the exact same for Best Game Direction. I think Astrobot or Black Myth Wukong should take this one, just because of Astrobot was out of the wheelhouse for Sony, and Black Myth Wukong was just, the gameplay I watched was phenomenal. I don't think I'd be quite good at it. I think I could get through it eventually, but my skill set is not up to where it needs to be to beat that game properly. So, yeah, I think Black Myth or Astrobot will probably take that one. Best narrative: Final Fantasy VII, Like a Dragon, Metaphor ReFantazio, Sinuous Saga, Silent Hill 2. Honestly, I'm not sure. I bet Metaphor takes this one. Don't get me wrong, the story was intriguing. What you had to do and the messaging you had to get past to accomplish it was. Ugh. But the story itself in general was very intriguing, and I wanted to play it. I mean, the first time I made a video you can go watch. When I saw the trailer, I was like, yes, I love this. It looks great. And then I played it. I was like, I was wrong. For me. Definitely for me. I am definitely in the minority when it comes to Metaphor. Some people really love it. I mean, I wrote a review and on Steam and got quite a few clown emojis awarded for being funny. And I was not being funny. I was being outright serious and everything. But anyway. Now, best art direction, we got most of them the same as again: Astrobot, Black Myth, Elden Ring, Metaphor, and Neva. Now, I did a video on Neva a couple weeks ago, and artistically speaking, it is the most relaxing and serene, just graphically, it looks so clean and serene, even though it is a fighting game, that I was like, wow, I'm impressed. I really like the look of it. And I'm glad to see it because it's an indie studio, and they've done one other game before it. I can't remember what it's called now. But I really hope that Neva gets this one, because the art style isn't like... See, Astrobot, I mean, all these look similar. You can probably find things that look similar to it, especially Metaphor. It looks a lot like the Persona games. Elden Ring, of course, Elden Ring. Black Myth, Wukong looks like stuff. Astrobot. Neva's unique. It really is. In these five, Neva is the unique one. And I hope they get it. Now, best score in music, I couldn't really tell you, honestly. I mean, the gameplay I saw of Astrobot and Metaphor and Stellar Blade, I would probably pick Astrobot as the most entertaining music. That would be my guess. Audio design. It seems weird that Call of Duty would be in audio design, but it has all the different weapons and things like that, and so you wouldn't think audio design strictly music. As far as sound effects go, Call of Duty, just strictly on what they have to do to accomplish that, is probably top tier. It really is. I've watched a lot of the gameplay. It's definitely one of those games that's not for me, but I like it. And honestly, it's probably going to be Final Fantasy, just because it's very orchestral, and that's just Final Fantasy's known for amazing music. It really is. And which is funny because I really wish Dragon Quest, which I'm playing through right now, is not on this. The Dragon Quest 11S remake is not on here, which I get. It's a remake, but so is Silent Hill 2. And Sandland, great game, great RPGs, loved them. Love Sandland, loving Dragon Quest 11. I wish they were on here, but it's not my call. But best performance, awarding to an individual voice actor or actress. Honestly, couldn't tell you. Really surprised that's on here. But for audio, for voice, it's not the only time Outlaw shows up here, but if they were going to get nominated for a category, this is probably the one that they could realistically achieve. And I'm just kind of like, eh. The whole game itself is just janky. Cost them tons. I just can't believe it's them. See, this is the category that caught my eye. Innovation in accessibility. Now, the first part makes sense. Recognizing software or hardware that pushes the medium forward and adding features and technology and content to help games be played and enjoyed by even more wider audience. So, theoretically, this would be pushing the envelope graphically for games, in which I think that's how this innovation was probably the original category, but now it's innovation in accessibility. So, yep, we've Black Ops 6, yeah, I see that on there for what they've done. They've done an incredible job redoing a Call of Duty that has brought so many Call of Duty fans back. Diablo 4, yeah, I can see that. Then we got these three. Yep. They're there for the last few words of this category description. For sure. Veilguard had to be on here for something. Like, if Veilguard wasn't on here, I'd expect to see Concord, Dustborn. Yeah, I mean, well, Concord won't be on here, but I figured Dustborn might make an appearance. Luckily, it doesn't. Thank goodness. Honestly, please give it to Call of Duty or Diablo 4. Don't give it to either one of these three. Just no. Games for impact. For a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. I want the whole category to go away. Pro-social meaning or message. That's the problem with gaming, is pushing messaging. And this is where I'd expect to see Veilguard, but no. And while I don't know the story of Neva, it's on this list too. I just saw graphically, it looked really good. And the fight scenes looked interesting, and I think it did have I think the storyline mostly, if I recall, is you're with a wolf cub and you're trying to find a new land because your world has been destroyed. Your land has been destroyed and you're trying to find a new home. So there's probably some catastrophic messaging in there. That would be my guess. And all these other ones have no clue. I really don't. Don't have a clue. I don't care about this category. Hope it goes away. Forever. Best ongoing game. This is interesting. Ironically, I was still expecting Overwatch to make an appearance, but it didn't. Or at least League of Legends? Yeah. But Fortnite, Helldivers 2, Final Fantasy 14, Diablo 4, Destiny 2. I will say, I know a lot of people still playing Final Fantasy 14. I do. I know quite a few people. And I've got a friend of mine, she's in New Mexico. She's like, come on, you should get on and play with me. I was like, you've been playing for so long, you're going to hate me coming in and joining you. I'm just, no. And Fortnite and Helldivers 2. I think these will probably be the two front runners. I'm going to lean Fortnite. Helldivers 2 has had a big drop off based on some of the decisions the developers have made that kind of pushed a lot of people out. They said, fine, we're out. So I'd give Fortnite to this one. Best community support. Oh boy, here we go. Inclusive of social media activity and game updates and patches. Transparency and responsiveness. Now, to be straightforward, 100%, if Helldivers 2 kept doing what they did in the first 2 months, I would almost guarantee they would win this. But honestly, I'm going to give this one to Fortnite. Because they're bringing back the OG map, and so many people are so excited. The number of Fortnite streams I've seen skyrocket on YouTube, Kick, Twitch, Rumble. So many more Fortnite streams than I've ever seen since I've just been casually looking at gameplays. And it's crazy. And they're more responsive to fans. And yeah, they realized, oh yeah, that special political island, Freedom Town, that's what it was. Yeah, no one went there. I'm sure they got paid a lot for it. I'm sure they did. I believe, I can't remember. I want to say it was $50,000 to make that. That's what the campaign paid. I want to say it was $50,000. No one went. I think at most it topped out at like 200 players. And that's probably half of them were just going in there to drive other people crazy. But yeah, sometimes you take the money. Best independent game. And here we go. Balatro's on here again. Of course. Neva. It's good. And I'm not sure. I don't know these other three again. So I hope Neva gets it. Just because it's just graphically it looks so amazing. And a card game. It's hard to. It won't be the last card game on here, but we'll get to it. And that's just card games. A straight poker game. It's not a straight poker game, but a poker based game just seems crazy to me. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I should just play it and find out for myself. But just all appearances, it just seems like it's nuts. And I'm thinking of games that I've seen people play and advertise, and so many of those games are not on this list so far. And actually, the ones that have popped in my head aren't on this list. Best debut indie game. Here we go. And why Neva isn't on here, but I don't know. I really don't. Oh, this is debut. This is their first game. So yeah, Neva wouldn't be on this one because it's their second entry into the gaming sphere. But yeah, best mobile game. I'm not surprised the Pokemon trading card game is on here. What did it make? I made a video on it a while back. I think it made like 14 million in the first 48 hours. So yeah, honestly, that alone should make this the best mobile game winner in this category because it just blew up like immediately. It was crazy. I did a breakdown of where it all comes from, but majority of like Japan just went nuts as soon as this card game hit. So, best VR, augmented reality. Don't really care. I just don't like the VR stuff. And honestly, it's probably going to go to Batman Arkham because of the title and the fact that even the numbers they report that they sold, I don't believe it. I don't think that many people have that many VR sets. I can't fathom the numbers they were reporting. I could be wrong. And I'm okay with being wrong. But it's just like, VR stuff, I don't like things over my head. And it's like, I just don't like it. Because when you grow up and your first foray into the VR field was Virtual Boy, yeah, you kind of get soured on the whole VR thing. Even though I've done some VR stuff that's really cool, even still, I'm kind of like, yeah, it's just not for me. Best action game. Got a lot of stuff on here. And to be honest, all of these are good. I think they earned for action game, Black Myth, Call of Duty, Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, Warhammer 40K. But if you wanted to define it on action alone, pure action, I don't think Stellar Blade quite rises to the level of the other four. Just the amount of action and chaos Stellar Blade doesn't quite get there, as Space Marines 2 is just pure chaos. So is Call of Duty, Black Myth Wukong. It's a little wild. Helldivers 2 is chaos too. So I have a feeling it's not going to be Stellar Blade. Although I would like it to be, just on principle alone, because all the right people hated it. So yeah. Best action adventure. So we got Outlaws, Silent Hill, Prince of Persia, Legend of Zelda, Echoes of Wisdom, and Astro Bot. Finally, a Nintendo game makes the list. And honestly, it should go to Echoes of Wisdom, but it's probably either going to go to Astro Bot or Outlaws. That's my guess. Best role-playing. None of the games I like are on here. None of them. None of the ones I've played, at least. I mean, I think I probably would like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I probably would like Dragon's Dogma 2. Gosh. I bet it goes to Metaphor. I really do. Just because it's an Atlas game, I bet it's going to go to Metaphor. That's my thing. Best fighting. Right off the bat, this should not be on the list. Multiverses. And here's why. And I'll keep it simple. It's a flop. It has cost Warner Brothers so much money. It's ridiculous. They have not made their money back on this game at all. They have advertised and teamed up. I remember I stopped on a trip at McDonald's a while back, and they had the Multiverses toys for the Happy Meals. I mean, they're promoting it like crazy. They still just don't have the numbers. And Sparkling Zero should take it because it's incredible. I just kind of got into Grand Blue Fantasy and started looking into it. I haven't played it, but it does look like fun. Tekken 8 and Marvel vs. Capcom, those are classic fighting games. If Sparkling Zero doesn't get it, I want Marvel vs. Capcom to get it. Then Tekken 8, then Grand Blue, and Multiverses last. I mean, it should not be on the list, but it is. It is. So, I mean, whatever. Now, best family game. Appropriate for family play, introspective genre, or platform. Now, all of these are good family-friendly games. I guess that's a better way to say it. Because there's only one on this list that's multiplayer. And that's Jamboree. Super Mario Party Jamboree. Which is awesome, by the way. I don't care what some of the negative reviews say. I love it. My kids love it. We love it. It's awesome. And we just love the Mario Party games. So, doesn't matter. We're going to play them. We play them all. We play all the Mario Parties that are available on the Switch. We play them. We love them. They're fun. They're just absolute fun. We just have a blast. I hope Mario Party Jamboree gets it. I really do. But I don't know why it says Nintendo GameCube. It's on the Switch. Oh, Nintendo Cube. That's the studio. My bad. Read that wrong. I was like, GameCube. My gosh, no. Okay. I hope Nintendo wins this category just because. Best simulation and strategy. Don't know any of them. I have no idea. I've heard of Age of Mythology and That's it. That really is. That's the only one I've done heard of. And sports and racing, yeah, that's not even my thing. So, no clue. Best multiplayer? Nintendo should win it. But I almost guarantee you it's either going to go to Call of Duty or Space Marines 2. Because this is just chaotic. It is wildly online multiplayer. And it's more focused on the online multiplayer than Jamboree. It has the option, like on Mario Kart, you can play locally or you can get online and race people online. So, but Warhammer and Call of Duty and Helldivers are specifically geared for online play. Tekken 8 is also kind of that same former category. It can be local or online. And okay. Yeah. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Warhammer. Yeah, I think Warhammer might take this one. Best adaptation to another medium. Honestly, I've only watched one of the shows on this list. I take it back. I watched part of Arcane, just didn't kind of do it for me. I was like, I'm not sure what I'm watching. I didn't know I was like, okay. Some people love it, and that's great. It just wasn't my cup of tea. But honestly, was Knuckles on there just because they needed a fifth one? I like it. Don't get me wrong. I own it. I bought the Steelbook because I wanted to watch it. I just think it was a little lackluster. It just didn't quite rise up to the comedy of the movies, and Knuckles was not in it as much as he should have been. But that's okay. This is a weird category. I thought most anticipated game of the year. Well, it doesn't matter what it is. It's Grand Theft Auto. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what the other was. If Grand Theft Auto is on there, that's the one that's winning, period. Content creator of the year. Honestly, I don't know why it says in 2021. Did they copy and paste and forget to change the year? I guess so. The only one I've heard of is Queso. And honestly, I have nothing against the guy. But I really do hope that's just a persona he puts on. Because, yeah. I don't know any of the other ones. So, let's give it to Queso. Why not? Esports game. This is another one I'm not sure. I don't really play esports. I'm not into it. I do watch like the Splatoon and the Mario Kart World Championships this past summer. Those were fun to watch. But if you had to give it, League of Legends is just kind of one of those things. It's just constant. I mean, really, it just League of Legends and Fortnite. They're pillars. So I bet League of Legends takes this one. Esports athlete, don't know any of them. Best esports team, don't know any of them. And honestly, it just feels like we had so many games released this year, and it feels like so many things were so unrepresented. But that's my take. That's my breakdown of just going through this list and just seeing what my thoughts are. Because honestly, I'm not a world-class gaming, what do they call it, influencer, content creator. I'm just a dude who likes to get back into gaming and getting back in gaming and having fun. So this is my take. And that's all it is. So that's it. I don't think I'll watch it. I think this is starting to look like, give me Oscar vibes. Oh, look who was nominated. Who cares? I don't know. No one. Does anybody watch it? Who knows? Probably not after this. So that's my 2 cents. And that's probably exactly what it's worth. So until next time, my friends, as always, I love you all, and there's nothing you can do about it.